Oh, it's a nice one. Nice one. Dude. Ooh. It's a nice one.
A bad one, baby.
Come on. Get him. Oh. Ooh. Just got whacked. Dude, I got whacked in the head again.
They go bait today. I can't reel no more. I know. It's not my bottom bead.
Got him.
Got him, buddy. It's a beautiful buck here. Hit this one on a bead covered in fire gel, anise. Fished it a while with some different baits and just kind of switched up and found another biter up here. So gonna head down river and poke at a few more.
So today we fished in the Oswego River here in upstate New York. I live right here in the city of Oswego and I love it. I moved here for this river. Really enjoy fishing here. It's a great fishery. It's right in the middle of downtown, so the scenery's not the best, but the fishing's awesome. It's winter time. We caught steelhead, browns, some rainbows today. Not a lot of people around. High water, fish were biting. We had an awesome time on the river.
New Pautzke fire gel, tipping it on jigs, hooking steelhead up on the Oswego River. First time ever using it. So far, I've hit one, Kyle's hit two on it. Actually, no, that's three now, Kyle. This fire gel is awesome, and it doesn't come off, and boy, you can
Oh, that's a nice fish. Nice fish, Andy.
This fish almost yanked it right out of my hands. It wanted that fire gel and jig combo so bad.
Come on, let's get him to the boat. Kyle, where do you want me? You gonna go below him?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it just weighs your net. The net
Woo, we bouncing. We bouncing. Got him.
There we go. Yeah, buddy. Another beautiful steelhead. A little darker buck. This one fell for a jig coated in Pautzke's new fire gel. And the steelhead scent, he drilled it.
One of the things that makes Oswego a real interesting river is it's real different than most fisheries. One day we could have low water, we'd barely make it up to the fishing spots, and the next day it could be raging whitewater rapids. The fish come in here, steelhead, in mid-October we'll start seeing good numbers of steelhead, some browns and rainbows, and they stay right through about mid-April until things really warm up and they scoot back to the lake. So we can fish all winter long, and we can fish this a lot of times when other places get too much ice to get out. We can still fish here in Oswego. Good day here, we're gonna hook a dozen fish or more. Tough day, hopefully we're still gonna put 4 or 5 fish in the bowl. Average fish, it varies. That's, I think, more than anything in the system in Lake Ontario, it's a lake-wide average. So this year, our fish have been a little bit on the bigger side, a lot more 7 to 9 pounders, with fish over 11 pounds seen quite often. Where other years, we've had a 4 to 6 pound average. This year's size has been up. So it's a good thing. We've seen some bigger fish around this year. So today we float fish for these trout. We used Pautzke's new trout eggs, the premium trout eggs. I really like these eggs. Obviously they're real trout eggs. They feel like the real thing. They smell like the real thing because they are the real thing. We tied them up in Atlas Mike's netting. You know, pink, white, peach were very good today. Combination of white and pink was a good one. I like to do a little mess around with my eggs a little bit. So like these eggs here actually have a little bit of firepower in them, which is krill. Give them just a little different scent. This other jar, these two are premium trout eggs. These here, I just added a little brown sugar to make them a little sweeter. Steelhead love things sweet. Doesn't really affect the egg, can't really tell the difference whether it was on there or not, but I just marked down my jar, and that lets me know which one they're eating. Kyle actually had success with this brown one today, the brown sugar one. I was fishing another batch that had just boraxo fire by Pautzke's in it, and that's what I did my fish on.
Not bad. Nice little football. Good little curl hen. Gonna get her going back and catch a couple more.
The second technique we employed today was putting Pautzke's new fire gel on some Great Lakes Company beads, Great Lakes Steelhead Company jigs. This fire gel just came on the market. This is actually the first time this has hit the water, and with even a tough bite, cold, clear conditions, adding this scent to our Great Lakes Steelhead Company beads, our trickle beads, did the trick today. Caught a really beautiful steelhead on that. And once we started tipping our jigs with a little bit of this steelhead and anise scent, they really started picking up these jigs consistently.
You're running on us. Got a nice fish on here. Fishing some jigs coated in Pautzke fire gel and using the anise. So it's working pretty dang good for us here today. Looks like we got a big colored up buck.
Saw it?
Yep. Nice big buck, picked him up on a jig covered in fire gel. Nice winter fish, gonna get him going back.
Let's talk about the gear we used today. In the Great Lakes, flow fishing has become one of the most popular techniques to target trout. It's easy for people to do. You know, obviously you can get as technical as you want with it. So we get a long rod, 11 to 13 foot. Today we use the new Nova Chrome 13 footer. It's a beautiful rod, just got it a couple weeks ago, really fall in love with it. And I run all kingpin center pins. This is my old faithful standby, my Sovereign. Great reel, workhorse. I spool that up with 8-pound test mainline. I like to run Suffolk's, either Siege or Suffolk's Pro Mix. It's a great line. I can, real tough, abrasion resistant. Then we move on to their float. This float here is made by a good buddy of mine, Tom Evans. Makes his own custom floats. We run size 5.5 up to about 11 grammers here on the Oswego big water. You got to be able to see that float head. From there on down, we stagger some weights, starting with number 1, 2 down to size 3 Blackbird shot to a small micro swivel, and then leaders will run anywhere from 6 to 8 pound test. I like Rio Floraflex, for me is my favorite, and then down to our terminal end, whether we're running a single number 10 Blackbird hook, a jig, or when we run our beads, we use a Gamakatsu C14 in sizes from 10 to 4.
We're down here in the lower river. We just hooked one up. A little quieter down here. This is on a jig coated in fire gel. This is a Nice, and it's been working awesome for us. Andy got a nice brown on it earlier, and we've hit some nice steelies, so it's been working really good for us. It's winter time. Kind of like a lot of times those jigs will work a little better. And what we've seen today looks like a typical Oswego River steelhead.
Oh, it's right in the mouth too.
Nice head.
Ooh, ooh. Got him.
There we go, buddy. It's nice colored up winter fish. Nice hen, probably about 6 pounds or so. Good healthy fish. He's on a jig coated in fire gel. It's been working real good.
Today's episode of Pautzke Outdoors comes to you from Oswego, New York. We're right on the edge of Lake Ontario. Well, we're about 40 minutes from Syracuse, in one of the meccas for salmon, trout, and steelhead fishing in all of the Great Lakes. Now why? Well, probably because there's only about a mile of fishable water, and it's heavily stocked by the NYDEC, so you get tremendous runs here. Now, we're here specifically during steelhead season. So during this time of year, there'll be steelhead and brown trout in the river, and fortunately, Andy Bliss has been fishing here so long, he seems to know where every one of them are. Now, we do have the courtesy of being in a boat, which allows us to get into some of the areas that maybe shore anglers can't fish. Now, the greater Oswego River has seen more and more pressure every year from bank anglers. So having a boat just affords you the opportunity to fish some areas where fish may not be as pressured as others. Now, you'll see we started all the way up by the dam. This dam is, the salmon, the trout, the steelhead, they can't get above this dam. So because of that, we started here and we worked our way down. Now, we used a few baits today. Our good friend Kyle McClellan of XXL Chrome Chasing he met up with us today and did the same thing Andy did. Both of those guys started with basically premium eggs tied in Atlas Mike's netting, and they were also, you know, tied in there with Atlas Mike's magic thread. Now these proved to be real hot to start the day, and really once we caught fish on these eggs, we decided to switch over and try other things. Everybody knows that Pautzke's coming out with fire gel. It'll be ready in February of 2020. And this is the first time we've ever tested fire gel on the water. We've been working on it for years. I think we finally dialed it in to have those scents that are super strong. Now, you notice that Kyle today focused on just using anise fire gel. He put it on a couple of jigs, he put it on a couple of beads, did very, very well. When Andy was done fishing with the eggs today, he went over and basically used the Steelhead fire gel, and he put it on mostly. You know, he's a good buddy with the guy from Great Lakes Steelhead Company, so he put it on his baits. Sure enough, both of these techniques proved to be phenomenal today. We caught and released over a dozen steelhead and 1 brown trout in a short half day's time, and had a great time testing out baits and filming this new episode of Pautzke Outdoors. Pautzke products are available at sporting goods stores near you. If you can't find the specific color, size that you want, make sure to go to Pautzke.com. And as a thank you for watching Pautzke Outdoors, we're going to show you a coupon code to be used for 10% off your next order.
So, here we are. Kyle break damn Michigan boys. Used to fish in that nice calm waters of Michigan. The rough choppy waters of Big Oswego.
Nice big male steely. Picked him up on a jig covered in
Fire gel.
All right, I'll start over.